Et bonsoir, bonsoir à tous, j'espère que vous allez bien. Ce soir, on se retrouve sur une nouvelle découverte. Ce soir, je vous présente Onirike, qui vient de sortir, enfin qui est sorti depuis aujourd'hui, qui a été développé par Devilish Game et édité par Badland Publishing. Du coup voilà, hein, c'est encore une fois une nouvelle découverte qu'on va faire ensemble. La réception est très récente. Mais ça permet de découvrir l'aventure ensemble. C'est parfois pas plus mal.
Prieto awoke in the same spot again. His memories vanished at dawn. There was little excitement behind circus walls. Wandering nor here nor there whilst picking gypsophilas was often the main source of entertainment. Just as every night, Prieto had the recurrent feeling that the strange beings and pantomimes that inhabited the orb were somewhat unlike him.
Je vais juste voir si je peux changer les touches, même si je ne porte pas d'espoir là-dessus. Non, c'est pas grave. C'est pas grave, c'est pas grave. Ah, ça, du coup, je peux les ramasser. Je sais pas du tout à quoi ça sert, hein, on va bien voir. Il a une drôle de tête, notre bonhomme, quand même. D'accord, ça revient. Hein. Du coup, non, au final, on ne les ramasse pas.
Clowns are said to hide sadness behind their disguise. Strength to put on a smile had abandoned this one clown. Fears of being branded as ridiculous drove him to desperately seek approval. In the end, his possessive little puppet took control of his movements with the strings that held them together. Prieto was insecure and shy, and had never really found the courage to mingle with the others. But surely just around the corner that was all going to change. Looking at the clown, Prieto came to realize that there was something he wanted to say, but the puppet wouldn't let him. What if he just cut the strings?
D'accord, couper le fil. Coucou toi.
Prieto felt that the rest of the beings in the circus weren't like him.
Merci Tabazor pour les bits. C'est bizarre dit comme ça quand même par contre. Ils auraient pu trouver ça comme notre nom de...
Prieto felt that the rest of the beings in the circus weren't like him. The strange beings in the circus would do the same thing night after night, like clockwork. The more he stared at them, the more out of place Prieto felt.
Tu m'étonnes que tu te sens étrange. T'as toutes les raisons pour.
Prieto felt that the rest of the beings in the circus weren't like him.
Ouais, mais ça tu l'as déjà dit.
The strange beings in the circus would do the same thing night after night, like clockwork. While Prieto pondered over how to free the clown, he encountered greasy, obese Gran Mac, who, as he usually did, was milking his poor skinny cow. Greed is a bottomless pit, a never-ending effort which never provides true satisfaction, and Gran Mac was the epitome of a greedy soul. He found utmost joy in storing all kinds of objects, but they were his most cherished treasure.
T'as eu des nouveaux points.
He boasted to others about them and took displeasure in seeing them touched by hands that were not his own.
C'est très chelou comme image, hein, par contre. En train de faire des trucs bizarres avec sa vache. On peut pas les faire tomber, je voudrais les faire tomber moi. Ah voilà.
You there. Why do I see you lurking around here? Look at the mess you've made. Spat Gran Mac. Prieto, a little scared, dared not move. You are jealous of my wealth. Are you not? Said Grand Mac. Prieto timidly glanced at Grand Mac's prized possessions. An old pair of scissors caught his eye. Two colleagues walk into a beat. Big round eyes and long, long feet, said Grand Mac. Prieto, eyes fixed on the scissors, did not utter a word. In view of this, Grand Mac said, Are you dumb? Or you just cannot talk? Do you like my scissors? If you want them, you will have to give me something precious in return. Round like a saucer, unaffected by blows, and relentless bouncer.
D'accord, un objet rond.
Prieto felt that the rest of the beings in the circus weren't like him.
On va trouver ça.
The strange beings in the circus would do the same thing night after night, like clockwork.
Oh, je vais être obligée de faire le tour avec la poisse. Ça va, je pensais que ce serait plus galère que ça.
Even if the thought of giving one of his precious possessions away did not come easy to Grand Mac,
Et toi, ça, le Vanix, j'espère que tu vas bien.
After some hesitation, Grand Mac decided on offering a truce. So it seems that you were not so dumb after all. You may have the scissors in exchange for the ball, he said. Silence is a hard argument to refute, and Prieto remained tight-lipped. Grand Mac handed over his precious scissors to Prieto, and then admired his newly acquired orbicular treasure.
Bon, on va couper les ficelles du clown.
Prieto felt that the rest of the beings in the circus weren't like him. Prieto returned to the clown's house. Again, he had the feeling that the clown wished to share something important, but the puppet wouldn't let him. Armed with his scissors and guided by his kind heart, Prieto decided to cut the strings that held the clown captive. When he did, an enraged puppet stormed out of the circus walls, huffing in anger and leaving the door open while shouting, "Do not call it quits!" Unshackled from the puppet strings, the clown broke his silence and warily said to Prieto, "Once, a long time ago, I was just like you. I too was full of hope, but over time, I became infected with laziness and neglect, and soon ended up trapped in my own misery. I wholeheartedly appreciate what you've done. I fear it is too late for me, but you still have time to leave this place. It is said that beyond the circus walls, within the great volcano, lies the well of truth. There, dreams come true. Follow me, and I will show you something," offered the clown.
Bon, on va le suivre. Si tu pouvais accélérer, par contre, ça m'arrangerait. Il y a comme dans le ciel en fait. D'accord, c'est une raie volante. Je me disais aussi. Je tente de divaguer hein, vu qu'elle marche un peu au ralenti.
Prieto followed the clown up to the gate, and once there, the clown said, "I have been watching you closely, night after night, and I believe you still have not learnt how to keep your memories at sunrise. Do you see that circular stone on the floor? It is a memory stone. There are many of them spread out throughout the orb. If you place yourself on top of one at dawn, time will begin to accelerate. Try it for yourself, and you will slowly see that when the sun rises, you will no longer feel lethargic, nor will your memory fail you.
Ok. Ah, je pensais que je pouvais bouger, je me disais aussi, mais non.
Daytime arrived, and the memory stone took Prieto to the Drosophila field, a place of splendor, filled with light that made Prieto feel so light as a feather and full of hope. Still unaware, Prieto ignored that those beautiful spores floating through the air were going to be much needed on his journey.
Ok. Je pense qu'il faut que je trouve des fleurs spéciales. Et je n'ai réussi à récupérer un. Je sais pas comment j'ai fait, mais j'ai réussi. Je peux voler. Oh oh! C'est comme un trampoline de coton. C'est trop bien. Bah écoute, moi le jeu d'hier m'a endormi, hein. Clairement je l'ai trouvé super bon. J'ai pas eu encore le courage de continuer. Mais le live d'hier, moi, m'a épuisé. J'ai pas d'indication vraiment, je sais pas quand si je dois en ramasser un endroit spécial ou pas.
While Prieto busied himself with picking spores, night fell. Prieto returned to the orb, but on this occasion, unlike other nights, his memory had not deserted him. The clown stood next to the memory stone and, determined to help Prieto, remarked, "I see you have not been idle in the Drosophila field. You have handpicked quite a few spores. Do you remember the bright flowers that grow on the circus walls? They are called Drosophilas. These flowers give you hope and make you be seen. If you cease to pick these flowers for a while, you will become invisible and will vanish into thin air until night falls again. Although flowers only grow naturally behind the circus walls, it is possible to plant them elsewhere. Come with me," said an enthused clown on their way to the gates of the stone wood.
Bon, on va voir si notre ami le clown. Hein. Je peux peut-être déjà y aller sans lui.
An intrigued Prieto kept track of the clown. Once inside the wood, the clown said, "Here, this here is the ideal spot to plant the spores you picked. You will soon see how quickly flowers full of hope bloom." Prieto entered the stone wood guided by the glimmering spots the clown had marked out to plant Drosophilus. Prieto needed Drosophila so as not to become invisible. Prieto needed Gypsophilis to become visible again.
Oh oh, je suis invisible. Ça m'arrange pas spécialement, à vrai dire. Non! Je suis tombée. Ah, c'est pas évident.
Prieto spent far too much time without picking Gypsophilis and vanished entirely. Once he awoke, his memories from the night before had disappeared.
Sérieux? C'est triste ça.
The clown stood next to the memory stone and, determined to help Prieto, remarked,
Ah, du coup,
"Do
faut que
you
je
remember
recommence.
the bright flowers that grow on the... If you cease to pick these flowers, all those flowers only... Come with me," said an enthused
On
clown
va
on their way to
recommencer, on
the
va essayer
gates
de
of
pas
the
tomber cette
Stonewood.
fois. Sinon, il y avait des pierres de souvenirs là-bas.
An intrigued Prieto kept track of the clown. Once inside the wood, the clown said, "Here, this here is the ideal spot to plant the spores you pick. You'll soon see how quickly flowers..." Prieto entered the stone wood guided by the glimmering spots the clown had marked out to plant Gypsophilis. Prieto did as he was told and planted a spore. In no time at all, bright flowers sprung up. The clown, full of I have marked out specific areas of the wood that are suitable for cultivation. They tend to contradict themselves a fair bit, but the truth of the matter is, they hold many. Not far from where they live lies a big stone heart. It is said to hold a secret within. Prieto planted a spore, and it instantly grew into a plant. When he picked it from the ground, he noticed a renewed sense of hope from within, which spurred him onwards.
Oh! Ah! La caméra est parfois pas évidente. Ok. Du coup, c'était bien utile les genres de sport du coup tout à l'heure. Allez, j'ai pas envie de disparaître. Allez, redescends-toi. Hop. Oh, il va être évident celui-là. je pense que je dois descendre. J'espère. Je dois aller où? Là-bas. Je me foule pas ramasser toutes les orbes, hein. Pour l'instant je sais pas à quoi ça sert, donc je me dis que je vais y tomber. Je me dis que pour l'instant c'est peut-être pas très utile. Ah ah.
Arriving to the land of the flanks was no mean feat. However, Prieto stuck to the task and managed to find their house. Prieto approached the flanks, who showed no sign of surprise at his presence. "The face is a mirror of the soul," said one. "Looks can be deceiving," added the other. Prieto stood totally still and wondered whether or not the flanks were talking about him. "The confusion is crystal clear," affirmed the mouthless flank. "He must be the clown's friend," said the smirking flank straight away. "The hardest thing about having many friends is to know which ones you can call true," added the mouthless flank. "I wonder what he's after," one flank said. "Curiosity killed the cat," said the other. "But cats have 7 lives, you know," added the first. "Maybe it's love he seeks," said one of the flanks. "Eternal love lasts only so long," added another. "I love you not, you love me. I 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 love you not, you love me," the flanks chanted repeatedly. Prieto was clearly starting to tire of the conversation. Love was in the air, and Prieto was beginning to choke. He decided the best thing would be to leave the flanks as they were and continue to search for the big stone heart that the clown had spoken of.
Ok. Et il est où ce fameux cœur de pierre? Il est là-bas.
Prieto began to feel somewhat weak. It was clear that he was in need of the magical Drosophila in order to remain visible. A big flower, some tiles, and a huge stone heart. Prieto thought that if they did hide a secret, the flanks had not been of much service to him. Or perhaps they had.
D'accord.
The effect of the Gypsophila was fading, and Prieto began to feel somewhat weak. "I love you not, you love me. I love you not, you love me. I love you not, you love me." The flanks clearly knew far more than meets the eye. The heart rose up, and what seemed to be a part of a key came out from within.
Wouhou! Je sais pas
Prieto
ce que
became
c'est.
invisible. He needed Drosophila so as not to disappear completely.
Je suis en train de disparaître. Il est où mon truc? Voilà. Ah d'accord, c'est vraiment cette clé. Ok. Ça s'est ouvert là.
Prieto left the stone wood as dawn was fast approaching. He needed to find a memory stone in order not to forget the recent happenings. Luckily enough, the clown had marked out a route for him using farmland as reference. Prieto planted the last spore he had that night. If he wanted to get more, he should find a memory stone.
D'accord, il faut que je retrouve des spores. Non, j'arrive pas à en avoir. Voilà. J'ai pas le temps de ramasser beaucoup, dis donc. Je me suis mal débrouillée comparé à tout à l'heure.
Prieto awoke at dusk and saw the clown waiting for him next to the memory stone. Happy to see Prieto, he said. I knew you'd come back, but I'd never imagined that you'd be able to reveal the secret of the big heart. I tried it many times, but to no avail. Perhaps the key fragment that the stone heart hid is related to the Well of Truth. You should look for the gatekeeper and show it to him. The gatekeeper knows how to open all of the orb's doors. You'll recognize him easily. He's green, always dallies around naked, and is a very panicky and scared person. When you see him, take care
D'accord,
not to
faut que je
scare
cherche
him.
quelqu'un de vert et nu. Ouais, bien oui. C'est sûr que ça court
I no
toujours les
longer have the strength to leave the circus, so you'll have to search for him by yourself. Remember all that you've learnt about the picking of the gypsophila. Now you're ready to plant them wherever you please. Dose them up and you'll be able to travel quite far without turning invisible, sentenced the clown while he returned towards the inside of the circus.
Ok.
Prieto listened to the clown and parted in search of the gatekeeper.
Du coup,
Once he got close to one
Je
of the
pense
doors
qu'en
that sealed
fait,
the different areas of the
les
orb,
graines
Prieto
servent
saw a different being
pour mes
of a
cultures
greenish color
et ça doit
that walked
baisser
about
à
naked.
chaque fois.
It was the gatekeeper.
Je sais pas de combien par contre. J'ose pas trop essayer, on va pas gaspiller pour rien.
Prieto rapidly chased after the gatekeeper, but he, who was quite the scaredy cat, ran away hurriedly after seeing someone getting close to him so fast. Prieto needed gypsophila so as not to become invisible. Prieto rapidly chased after the gatekeeper, but he, who was quite the scaredy cat, ran away hurriedly after seeing someone getting close to him so fast.
Il va falloir que je revienne plutôt près par contre. Parce que du coup je n'ai pas assez de...
Prieto was able to not frighten the gatekeeper by walking slowly towards him. What a fright! I thought you was one of the Devourers of Souls, said the gatekeeper. Prieto trembled at the thought of a Devourer of Souls and asked himself what the gatekeeper meant by that. The gatekeeper, who saw the grimace on Prieto's face, told him, "Have you never seen a Devourer of Souls? There are many behind this door, but only I know how to open it." Prieto wasn't excited to meet the Devourers of Souls, but knew that if he wanted to explore the orb and find the Well of Truth, he needed to open the door, even if the gatekeeper wasn't willing.
Ok. Je sais pas combien. Est-ce que je peux retourner chercher des orbes si je vais là-bas ou pas? C'est ce qui me stresse le plus. Oh, crotte. Bon, je suis vraiment obligée.
Prieto planted the last spore he had that night. If he wanted to get more, he should find a memory stone.
C'est ça la pierre des souvenirs, non? D'accord.
Prieto didn't have any more Gypsophila spores.
Oh, je vais aller rechercher, je pense.
Even though the gatekeeper didn't offer his help to Prieto, he was able to open the door. The gatekeeper, amazed, said, "Are you out of your mind? Do you know what you've just done? Behind that door there are tons of those Devourers of Souls that protect the fragments of the key to the Well of Truth." The key to the Well of Truth? Prieto asked himself. Unintentionally, the gatekeeper confirmed Prieto's objective. The fragment found in the stone heart must be part of the key to the Well of Truth. Prieto mustered up his courage and decided to walk through the door. The gatekeeper warned him. "I don't know what makes you want to enter the putrid zone, but I would suggest you only be brave when there are no monsters before you. The Devourers of Souls don't have good eyesight, but if they do happen to see you, they will attack without hesitation," the gatekeeper advised. "Behind the door, there's a memory stone, although I doubt whether you will be able to get there. Once there, we may speak in further detail. Can you feel the gaze? They're watching us. I have to go," the gatekeeper concluded hastily while he ran away scared.
Bon, allez, je prends un petit coup de ça et je vais rechercher des trucs, je vais pas avoir le choix. J'ai pas le choix quoi. Waouh, ça va être tendu.
Just as the gatekeeper had foreseen, Prieto bumped into a horrific devourer of souls. He felt frightened to the core. Prieto didn't have any more Gypsophila spores. Prieto spent far too much time without picking Gypsophilas and vanished entirely. Once he awoke, his memories from the night before had disappeared. Just as the Devourer of Souls reached Prieto, who vanished. If he wanted to make it, Prieto could not be seen by the Devourers. Just as Prieto didn't have any more Gypsophila spores. Prieto became invisible. Prieto didn't have any more Gypsophila spores. Prieto needed Gypsophila to become visible again. Prieto found a door made of barbecue ribs. On the floor were 4 buttons. Would the gatekeeper be waiting behind it? First, you would need to... As he stepped on one of the buttons, Prieto remembered the gatekeeper's words. If you wish to cross, use the meatballs wisely.
Allez, cours, cours, cours. Ah, je vais pas y arriver. Si, juste attends. Allez, on y retourne. Voilà. Faut que je trouve un troisième. Assez vite. Ah non! Oh sérieux, puis avec ça qui s'y met en plus. Putain, mais on a le temps de rien. Hein.
Prieto gathered 100 gypsophila petals that magically turned into a spore.
Tout ça pour ça, sérieux? Putain, perte de temps quoi. Tous les sens j'ai une fleur. Wouhou, ça va m'aider ça. Je vais le mettre là-bas. J'ai bien fait de faire une petite balade là-haut du coup.
Prieto planted the last spore he had that night. If he wanted to get more, he should find a memory stone.
Allez, on monte, on monte. Ah.
Dawn was soon
Wow,
approaching,
faut que je fasse
and
tout
Prieto
le chemin
needed to
comme
find a
ça.
memory stone urgently.
Sérieusement? Mais j'ai même pas de fleurs, ça va même pas fonctionner. Sans fleurs, ça fonctionnera jamais. C'est foutu. J'attends que ça revienne. Voilà. Mais pour moi, c'est clair et net. Sans fleurs, ça va être mort. Allez, dépêche, dépêche, allez, go, go, go. Ah!
Dawn was soon approaching, and Prieto needed to find a memory stone urgently.
Ah ouais, putain, c'est trop chaud. Ah, du coup, faut que je saute sur la pomme, mais... Oh. Ça va être trop tendu. Ce qui me stresse, c'est que j'ai pas de pierre, en fait, de fleurs, du coup... Sans la fleur, c'est tendu, quoi. Ah ouais, putain. C'est trop tendu.
Dawn was soon approaching, and Prieto needed to find a memory stone urgently.
J'ai bien compris, t'inquiète pas que l'eau se rapprochait, mais bon. Ah, je suis obligée d'aller chercher la pierre là-bas en plus, quoi. Je suis vraiment pas de choix, quoi. Putain, en plus, il y a des monstres partout. Wow, c'est chaud. Allez, on se concentre.
Dawn was soon approaching, and Prieto needed to find a memory stone urgently.
Non! Oh, c'est abusé. Ah, c'est chaud, hein, clairement, c'est chaud. Faut que je me presse et tout, parce que du coup, j'ai plus de fleurs ni rien. Du coup, maintenant, je me retrouve dans une sacrée mouise, quoi. D'après ce que j'ai compris, le jour arrive en plus. Du coup, je sais pas ce qui va m'arriver, mais ça se sent pas très bon non plus. J'espère que je vais pas tout perdre ce que j'ai avancé, quoi, quand même, parce que sans fleurs déjà j'ai bien galère, donc allez, go, go, go.
Dawn was soon approaching, and Prieto needed to find a memory stone urgently.
Je sais, tu l'as déjà dit ça. Allez,
Dawn
plus
arrived,
vite.
and Prieto wasn't
Ah ouais,
able to
ouais.
find a memory stone. The memories of that night vanished completely.
J'ai peur de je reprendre. Je me demande de qu'est-ce qu'il y a sauvegardé ou pas, je le sens pas du tout.
Just as
Ouais, du coup rien à sauvegarder, quoi. Bon bah c'est vrai, on peut même pas s'attaquer à l'autre derrière parce qu'en premier, parce que du coup j'ai pas clairement pas les orbes pour tenir toute la route là-bas. clairement, j'y arriverai pas. Sans fleurs, j'y arriverai pas. Du coup, ma partie, je pense, elle est à août en fait. Tout ça parce que je me suis trompée de touche, quoi. C'est un peu dur quand même. Bon, voilà, je suis presque à 1 heure de découverte. Malheureusement, je peux pas continuer parce que j'ai fait la bêtise d'avoir dépensé toutes mes fleurs sans faire exprès, en me trompant de touche par habitude. Du coup, ça fait que là, ma partie, elle est un peu à out, donc faut que je la recommence à zéro. Malheureusement, je vais pas avoir d'autre choix, donc il va falloir que je refasse toute la partie et tout, donc je vais pas la recommencer au début. Ouais, c'est ça. Mais bon, comme j'ai dit, en fait, j'ai dépensé toutes mes fleurs parce que les touches de déplacement sont QWERTY et du coup, le cul qui généralement me sert à tourner à gauche de base, là, dépose des fleurs. Donc, ça fait que je me retrouve totalement coincée et je peux pas avancer parce qu'en fait, les fleurs sont toujours trop loin. Du coup, je les sème toujours trop loin par rapport à ma route et du coup, ça fait que je bloque. Donc, tant que je refasse l'aller-retour, l'aube se lève super vite et du coup, j'ai le temps de rien en fait. Et du coup, je finis obligatoirement par mourir, quoi. Donc, voilà. Tant pis, tant pis. Mais bon, voilà, ça a permis de découvrir un petit peu l'univers d'Onirike. Sur ce, moi je vous laisse. Je vous souhaite une bonne soirée. On se retrouve dès demain. Je sais plus si c'est avec vous ou plaît-il. On verra bien. Je vous fais des gros bisous. À bientôt pour des nouvelles découvertes. Ciao, ciao.